Good morning, everybody. My name's David Clark. For those of you I haven't met, I'm the new Chief Executive. Do you know what I'm about to say?
Yeah.
Has everyone got that? Actually, I hope my phone doesn't ring in the next 60 seconds. This is not my first time I've stood on the stage on behalf of the SIA, but sometimes it works for me and sometimes I just get plain nervous. So I'm sort of somewhere in between at the moment. But it's nice to meet everybody. This is not the first, but a part of a workshop program that we're running around Australia around certification. You know that, that's why you're here. Certification is critically important to the Safety Institute of Australia. It's one of the things that we're doing today. You'll see that there's some filming going on. We're filming this workshop so that members who can't attend at our workshops around Australia will be able to get a full flavour of what the issues are and be able to learn as much as they need to know about certification. And that'll be up on our website. I just want to say a couple of things before introducing Sue Bottrell to deliver this workshop. The first is to acknowledge Sue. Since I've started in this role 10 weeks ago, Sue's done an extraordinary amount of work for this organisation. She's put in, we've had some real challenges in the last 10 weeks in the operations of the SIA, and Sue has just put an extraordinary amount of volunteer time into being a fantastic support to the SIA and helping us solve a couple of really important issues. So I just wanted to thank Sue for that and acknowledge her. She hates that. Now, as an industry, we're not very well recognised at all. We do not have what I would call a licence to operate from Safe Work Australia and their various component parts, from the regulators, from the Australian Chamber of Commerce and Industry, from unions. We are not as well regarded as we need to be. There's a number of ways that we need to address that as an industry, and the Safety Institute of Australia, on behalf of its members and health and safety professionals. One of the things we need to do is develop a national policy agenda, and in the next year we'll be doing that. That national policy agenda has to be relevant. The Safety Institute of Australia needs to have things to say that are relevant to current issues. One of the key sources that we're going to draw on to make sure that we're relevant is our members. Another key source we're going to draw on is the Safe Work Australia 10-year strategy, which also guides much of the work of the regulators. And we need to have conversations with the regulators that are relevant to them. We need to work with those regulators to help them implement their strategic objectives. And that's how we become relevant. Another thing that we need to do is create a more credible framework for the health and safety profession. There's three component parts to that. You would have heard about that. Many of you are familiar with the notion of the three pillars that we talk about at the Safety Institute of Australia. One of those key pillars is an extraordinary body of work, and in my career, and I'm new into the safety sector, but I've been around in a few different roles over the years. The body of knowledge is a really outstanding product, and it is already being drawn on internationally to improve health and safety knowledge and standards across the world, and there'll be more of that. That is a continuing work in progress, but it's an extraordinary piece of work in its own right now. The second part of that is accreditation, and most of you will be aware, or all of you will be aware, we run accreditation of higher education courses through the Australian Occupational Health and Safety Accreditation. Education accreditation, but that was a pretty good try, wasn't it? Thank you. And they've been doing extraordinary work. They're extremely well run and doing a fantastic job. The other side of things is certification of practitioners. You're going to hear about that today. I just want to acknowledge a couple of things. The Safety Institute of Australia has a grading system for health and safety professionals at the moment. Sue's going to talk to you about how this is different. Give her the opportunity to do that. You'll get all your questions asked and answered in that process. Okay? The second thing is that there's been some a couple of issues raised with me. The first, of concern from the membership. The first of those is, are we going to give away certification? Is it going to be something that some third party does? And the answer to that is no. We will run certification. We will certify the profession. We will ensure when we do that we have a governance framework which ensures that certification maintains high standards and the strategic decisions surrounding the maintenance of those standards are independent in the sense that we have a body of experts that are responsible for ensuring that the process is properly governed and that they are not driven necessarily by bean counting. And that there is a separation from the board of the SIA. So the process is going to be scrupulous, but we're not going to be giving it away so that some third-party organisation runs the show for us. The other thing is just acknowledging the fact that more than 60% of members of the SIA do not have a diploma level qualification in terms of their professional or their education. Sue's going to be addressing that issue as well. What I will say for now is that we recognise, one, that there's a need for education standards in certification, but two, there are many, many people doing extraordinary work in the health and safety sector who have many, many years' experience and expertise in health and safety. And it's important that we address that group as well. One of the things that the SIA is going to be looking at, and I'll be focusing very strongly on this in the coming 12 months as we roll out the first stage of our certification, is looking at the practitioner level and how we can embrace that group as well. So I just want to assure you that that group is an issue that we're going to be looking at. And I don't want to say any more about that for now, but if there are questions later, we can talk that through in a bit more detail. But probably for now, the thing for me to do is hand over to Sue, who really knows what she's talking about, which is quite different to me when it comes to certification. And hopefully today you'll all be a lot wiser about what our plans are, what our intentions are, and really invite you to ask the questions you need to in this process, listen to what Sue has to say, get your questions answered, so that we've got an informed membership and we can get on with it and roll out a fantastic program, which is going to be part of underpinning building our reputation across Australia with employers, with unions, right across in all industries. So please make Sue welcome.